is the...
I was disappointed in my mother for over 30 years. I never understood why she could love my father unconditionally after he'd already had 2 more kids and 2 more marriages. I didn't understand that. But that was judgment. And I was going to pay a big price for that. Then there was my cousin, my ride or die up until our 30s. We grew up together. She had a bad back surgery. She got hooked on pills and alcohol, and then she went to street drugs, and her pearly whites rotted right out of her mouth. Well, I wasn't there for her because she didn't realize that drugs were bad, and I didn't want to have no part of that. She died about 40 years old, 40, 42. So I didn't understand any of it, but I judged. I didn't realize it at the time, but I judged. And I was going to learn a serious lesson for judging others. Somehow God found a way to give me nothing but narcissistic men for 10 plus years. And I had no idea why. Every one of them men had a drug problem, alcohol problem, couldn't tell the truth if their life depended on it. It was a valuable lesson because I got caught up in a trauma bond. So, yeah, I learned what my mother was going through. What she had went through her whole life, I learned at the last minute. Judgment is not ours. It's not ours to give. God will find a way to teach you about the things that you judge. I never understood my cousin's depression, my mother's depression, none of it, until I had to go through it. And I'll tell you, that trauma bond with a narcissist, whoo, that is, boy, that's some shit right there. You know how I beat that narcissist? It wasn't until one day after my surgeries, everything, I opened up my computer, and there I saw a folder. And here I had all of his cash invoices. I could have bent him over for the IRS and enjoyed every minute of it. But instead, the voice in my head said, checkmate, vengeance is mine. Meaning it wasn't mine, that was spiritual. I never hear scripture in my head like that. So that was when I just closed that computer up. And from that moment on, for the last couple of years, every time you think of that person and the word asshole comes to mind, you change it. You say, no, oh my God, I'm sorry. I love you. Send them all the love you can. It'll fucking drive them nuts, I promise you. Their telepathy is real. The other day, I was standing right here, standing at this table, and I thought of a friend. 2 minutes later, he called. I was sitting here, he called. He said, I just want to call to say I love you and I miss you. But yeah, trust me on this. If you judge others, or you don't understand what someone's going through, God will show you. He'll show you exactly what they were going through so you understand it. It took me 10 years of narcissistic men. Here, I'm thinking I'm supposed to be there to help them. No, that's ego, by the way. That's ego. I wasn't there to help them. They were there to push me, to fill my own love cup, to love myself more than anybody else first. Yeah. I learned what heartbreak was. I was married twice in my life. The first time, 3 years, single, 19 years old with two little kids. Then 27 years later, we got married again. It lasted about 58 days and he left the country. Because he went and got hooked on drugs. Back on drugs, I should say. He had no drugs in this country. But in his country, he was a drug addict. Which is now clean and sober. He called me after, when he found out I had cancer. I never should have judged my mother for loving a man who didn't give 2 shits about her. My mom was a very, very religious woman. she'd give everything she had, and she never had much. But she'd give it to the church and everything. And look, I don't even tithe in the church. I have no desire to air condition Tammy Faye's dog houses, you know. But I do tithe in my community. I give to total strangers who don't even know that where the money comes from. And that's what I do.
That's good.
But learn from my mistakes. Don't waste years of your life learning lessons over and over again. I hated drug addicts. Drugs took away everything that I'd ever cared the most about in this world. And that's all that came to me. Everything I hated, that's all I got back. And it wasn't until I started sending out love and forgiveness and not calling people saying, hey, I love you and forgive you. No, not even close. Just every time they pop in your mind, instead of saying asshole, say I love you. I send you. I wish all the best for you. That's all you have to do. When you start doing that, your whole world's going to change. Everything you see, you're going to see differently. God has a plan for all of us. And the first thing, it's all about forgiveness and love. Forgiveness is for us, not for them. It's for us. It sets us free of the things that we don't like or want. Because when you don't like something, that's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to attract. You have to understand. The law of attraction is powerful. It is seriously powerful. I don't like drug addicts. Well, guess what? I spent a decade with them. And there's one thing I know for sure. I promise you this, from spending personal time with several of these narcissistic individuals, the one thing they all had in common, they all drank, they did drugs. In the middle of the night, they go hide. And they get high and they drink. And they stalk the one they hurt the most. Every one of them, even 70-year-olds, are stalking their ex from 25 years ago. They regret what they did. They just don't know how to handle it. See, they don't feel like they're worthy of it. And I know this because I asked one of the 70-year-olds one time, I said, hey, why do you sit here and punish yourself like this? Can't you just pick up the phone and say you're sorry? He said, no, you don't get it. I took the house, I took the kids, I took everything, I gave her nothing. That woman hates my guts. She would never forgive me. But you would sit there and drink and self-medicate instead of asking for forgiveness. Why not ask God for forgiveness? I mean, it's not hard. You'll keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again until you learn how to love unconditionally and forgive. I'm serious. You know, I was disappointed in my mother.
Oh, so what y'all think about that? Like that, her, and by the way, her name is Jamie Duke. Jamie Duke. I found that on TikTok, and like, what I got out of it was like, I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm thinking like, you getting judged like at Judgment Day, you know, like you ain't forgiven, like, and you find that out like when it's time to cross over, you know what I mean? Like, this is the reason why you're not making it to heaven. But I didn't know that he'll start attacking you. You know, that's one point, that like he'll start attacking you for unforgiveness, like right then and there. And I was just like, it's so deep, because I was going through 2 months ago, I had like I had a breakup, and I was just so mad at my ex, and I was just saying bad things about them and this and that, and but then when I started saying I love you, I forgive you, think about the good things, the good times we had, and it was better. It was a better, it was better, because when I was saying like negative things and like, oh, I didn't need them anyway, and blah blah blah, this and that, and I felt it good and went to sleep. But then when I woke up in the morning, I felt so sad, and because I didn't really feel that way. I didn't really feel that that person was a good person, for instance, and it's forgiveness is strong. It's really strong. And the other thing she was saying about what she didn't like about a person, like her cousin was like her ride or die, what I mean? That was her best friend, and her cousin got on drugs. So you start judging her, what I mean? Like, she didn't understand why she got on drugs. So you just gonna just judge her and get away. And that's not the thing to do. You should more try to help her, try to understand, because then she got stuck with drug addicts. She got stuck with what her mom had, which was her dad, a bad man, a man that didn't really care, and narcissistic, and they dealt with drugs. So she got she got kind of the bad stick with both of the situations where she was running from. She judged her mom and she judged her cousin, and that caught up with her and stuff. And it made me look at different things. Certain places I go to, certain situations, I just have an issue with it. I have an issue with that person, and I need to forgive. I got a problem with this promoter. He just really did me real dirty when I was into entertainment and stuff and putting on events. And he always tried to like put me in certain situations, try to put me on blast or whatever the case may be. And I went to a concert the other night, and I didn't know that was his place, but I forgave him, and it felt it good. What I mean? It felt it good to forgive him, because it's like you holding all this stuff and bad stuff. I think it comes back to you, just like what she said. Maybe that's the reason why. I wouldn't say that's the reason why I'm not doing events. It could be a possibility. Maybe that was the reason why I don't do events or whatever. But actually, that can be a reason. But the reason why I don't do events, because I kind of got tired of it. I don't like the atmosphere anymore. But like I said, like I'm searching for my forgiveness as well as I'm teaching. I'm also working through forgiveness, because forgiveness is not, it's not easy, but you do need to forgive, and you do need to not say negative things to the person that hurt you. You gotta just forgive them, like change your mindset, like she was saying. She want to call him, her ex-husband a bastard or whatever, and she changed it, said, no, I love you, you gotta change your mindset, and you really mean it, So I hope this video gave you some clarity, and it will help you. I hope this video will help you, because it helps me to, it really do. It helps me, and I watch it every other day. Certain videos I collect, and I watch it every day or every other day. That helps me. And it helped me see what's going on, because it's like, okay, I got like 20 people that I need to forgive. Maybe I did. I think out of that 20, I forgave about 5. It's a work in progress. It's a work in process. It's a process, and I'm just working through it now. I got extra people, I got extra people. As you keep going, you collecting people, and people. Everybody ain't gonna do you right. They'll do you, they'll do you wrong, and You gotta learn how to forgive them instantly and let it go. And forgiveness don't necessarily, when you forgive somebody and they treat you a certain way, they disrespectful or they mistreat you, you don't have to be with that person. You don't have to be in their area. You can forgive them, love them from a distance. Don't let nobody continue on mistreating you or degrading you or whatever it may be. So yeah. So, we all learning processes, and we just got to keep going. We just got to keep on forgiving. And that's something that people don't teach you. The schools, they don't teach you that. And that's how you be one with God. That's how you be one with yourself. That's how you find peace. You got to find peace, But I'll talk to you guys next time. Y'all be blessed. I hope everything is going well. I know it's really hot. It's very hot all over the world. You just got to get yourself ready. I do believe in God, and I believe He's coming back. And you just got to stay ready, right? You don't have to get ready. You need to stay ready. So we do have time to get ourselves together. So, yeah, make sure y'all get yourself together. All right. Love y'all.